daily answer writing day. Topic given was, because this is polity, governance and IR day, media topic was given. Media can come here also, role of media, because it will be part of your civil society in governance. Media is also a topic specifically mentioned in your GS3 syllabus.
GS3.
Yes. Role of social media and threats from communication network. Threats to India's internal security from communication network. So, plus media is a topic also mentioned in your GS4 syllabus. Yes or no? Probity and governance part जो है वहां पर भी. So basically we will be doing a question which is a mixture of all these three. Okay. So write today's question. Judges should not be subjected to. Judges and courts should not be subjected to media trial. This was latest given by a judge, है ना? Justice Chandrachud. So in light of this statement, analyze the challenges of media today. Suggest the principles on which media should be based. 15 marks, 250 words, 644. I am giving you 12 minutes today. 656 plus 1 minute for submission. You have to mail your answers. Start writing. Let us see this answer. Media is considered as the fourth pillar of democracy, which acts as a watchdog. Independent Indian media has seen phases from regulation during emergency to influence of general election to its influence in general election. Okay. This point you could have written as a separate heading, phases of evolution of Indian media or something like that. Or you could have written India has both old and new media. Need for media ethics. No due process of law. Media judgment do not follow due process of law. Not due process of law exactly. Strict cross verification. Yeah, double verification. Doctored news, fake news. Okay. Example. Give example. Internal security in harnessing TRP. Media houses forget their ethical values, like coverage of 26/11 Mumbai attack. Okay. Politically driven. Avoid this. Write that there is patronage or nexus between media and corporate and media and politicians.
एग्जांपल्स नहीं लिखने ऐसे करके.
हाँ, एग्जाम्पल लिखिए बिल्कुल. मीडिया एंड कॉर्पोरेट में एग्जाम्पल लिखिए. नीरा राडिया केस, है ना? नीरा राडिया टेप इंसिडेंट. Then media and politics write that in Tamil Nadu, many state channels are owned by, many news TV news channels are owned by politicians. Principles media should stick with: fairness and truth, accountability, accuracy, transparency, independence. Apart from the above, multinational preferred should be followed: self-restraint, courage. Conclusion is missing. Principles are not well documented. Challenges could have been better represented. There are a lot of challenges that you have left, especially the problem of TRP. There is a toxic triangle of TRP. TRP कैसे आता है? What is the toxic triangle of TRP? See, revenues depend on viewership, or you could draw this as viewership. The more viewerships, the higher the ratings. The higher the ratings, the higher the revenue. Then they will be having more advertisement, doing more to give viewership, like clickbait. है ना? Okay, let us write this answer and then I will check one more answer written by Rashika. So question is, judges and courts should not be subjected to media trial. In light of this statement, analyze the challenges of media today, suggest the ethical problems. Introduction. You can begin with any. Free media is the cornerstone of democracy. Or you could have given during emergency. RP Goenka published blank newspapers to protest arbitrary or unreasonable restraint on freedom of press. Or you could give Voltaire's quote, that is also there. You could have given Voltaire's quote, or several other incidents. For example, SSR case, there was a lot of media trial. Or even in cases of crime against women, there is a lot of media trial, which ultimately leads to police going for encounter killing or mob lynching, etc. है ना? Or there is a quote by Gandhi ji: a free press is neither an ally nor an adversary, but a constructive critique of the government. Gandhiji. So any of these you could have written in introduction. Free media is cornerstone of democracy, etc., etc. Then recent incidents, reports, or data, statistics. Any of it you could have written. You could have written media trial in death of Bollywood stars. India's ranking in World Press Freedom Index has gone down. India is ranked very poorly, 140 out of 180, 142. And there is lack of pluralism in media also. Lack of pluralism, lack of independence, any of these things. Then now, challenges in Indian media today, or challenges in media today. First challenge is crisis of, or you could have written the challenge like a sun model, like this: crisis of credibility. incidences of fake news, paid news, post-truth, and give example here. Give example of fake news, give example of paid news, give example of post-truth. For example, fake news का example क्या होगा? Regarding Agniveer scheme only, there was news that it will stop all other recruitment drives in army, है ना? But then government later clarified what is paid news. News disguised as, sorry, advertisement disguised as news. So many of the political parties, they print their manifestos, etc., and it is disguised as news. Their achievements are shown as news, but that is their view. Okay, so there is crisis of credibility, issues of ownership. Media owned by corporate. Media owned by politicians. Both of these are creating a nexus. Media, politics, and corporate, leading to corruption, criminalization of politics, etc. Then another challenge with respect to media is toxic triangle of TRP. Viewership determines the ratings determines the revenue, and for revenue, viewership is manipulated. How it is manipulated? Clickbait, sensationalization of news. Other things you can write in toxic triangle. I'm not discussing because of lack of time. Now, issues of gender bias in media. Me Too cases coming up in media. Gender pay gap. Threats to national security. Live coverage of terror attacks. Or you can give threats from communication networks, etc. Or social media, anonymity in social media. This could be used for radicalization. Therefore, media needs regulations and reforms. What kind of principles it should be based on? First, principle of harm minimization. That is, news should not be sensationalized or to create sensation. Every stakeholder being affected should be considered. Then, principle of golden mean.
So what is the first point? Harm marginalization.
Harm minimization. Principle of golden mean. So basically the idea is neither should it be a public broadcaster. Sorry, neither it should be a state broadcaster like in China. Neither should it act against national interest. media should adhere to democratic principles or constitutional principles. Then it should be based on principle of public trust. People trust the information given by media. So there should be double verification. There should be strict editorial norms being followed. There should be standards for correction. There should be withdrawal of news. Any news, its sources should be verified. Okay. Next, principle of independence. Media should not only be independent, it should be seen to be independent. There should be no vested interests. Okay. So other things also you can write principle of utility. Therefore, reforms going forward, self-regulation. There should be self-regulation principles put. Okay. Then secondly, government has also come up with new IT guidelines. They should be adhered. There is Rajiv Gauba panel also on this. Rajiv Gauba panel में every media platform or publisher both should take up accountability for news on their platform. And there should be timely compliance. There is also Supreme Court judgment, Tehseen Poonawala. Supreme Court said there should be a special task force to collect intelligence on crimes like hate speech. Media is also spreading hate speech, fake news. In conclusion, there is a very good initiative taken by Facebook. They use artificial intelligence to filter offensive images. Okay, so that also you can write, or programs like Satyamev Jayate. This was a program conducted by Kannur district collector. He taught or trained school kids on how to identify fake news. So this also you can write in conclusion. Okay. In detail, this topic we will be doing as part of our EMP classes also, as part of our current affair classes also. There is an entire discussion on.
Sir, in this question, what is the demand of question here? Like, in the question, it is written that judges in the court should not be subjected to media trial. So I
Yes.
thought that the question is related to something
हाँ,
about the judiciary and the
correct.
media.
That is the confusion that happens, है ना? Because
Sir, I have
question
written
was
that this is
in light
always.
of this, discuss the problems of media. So media trial is one of the problems, है ना? For example, it is not the role of media to act as judge jury, है ना? Only that part was related to the heading. The UPSC, that is why UPSC camouflages the question in this form. Whether this is the question or this is the question. है ना? In light of this statement, analyze the challenges of media today. One challenge arising out of this is what? Media trial. Like there was that case, or even today Supreme Court's cases, they are being criticized in the social media. Judges are considered to
Yes,
be
sir.
biased, etc. Those things. Only that part, media trial part. है ना? excessive pressure, media is acting like a kangaroo court. That part you can write. Other than that, you have to analyze the challenges of media today. That challenge is happening because of several other factors. You know? Why do you think media is doing media trial? Because it wants more TRP. You know? Why do you think media is doing media trial? Because there is a corporate or political nexus. That is why fake news, all these things are being spread. है ना? इसीलिए interpretation of the question becomes very important. Okay, your doubt is well taken. That which is the question? This is the question or this is the question? Which is the topic? है ना?
Yes, sir, I've written like on the
I
basis of
understand. You must
judiciary
have
only,
written on the
sir.
basis of that narrow interpretation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. इसमें one part that we could have added from this first heading was we could have mentioned about contempt of court. This part allows for correct reporting, constructive criticism of judicial pronouncements. That is not penalized. Only thing is, what is penalized? Scandalizing the courts. Today, what is being happening? Courts are being scandalized, right? Integrity of the court is questioned. You are lowering the integrity of the court. That is not allowed. Or targeting the character of the judges. Those things are not allowed in the name of media reporting, media. That becomes incorrect reporting. And in the garb of reporting, media influencing judiciary or pressurizing judiciary, that is not allowed. Okay. So only this part you could have written for addressing the first half of the question. Rest of it is a question on media. What are its challenges? What principles it should be based on? What reforms do you suggest?
Okay, so we can do these type of things in every statement type of question, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Just that first statement that is given, it is setting you a theme. That theme maybe you can address. Maybe in your introduction you address, in your body also you address that theme separately, and then what is the question asking, we will deal with that. This is a question on challenges of media, not challenges of media in with respect to judiciary, or not especially challenges of judiciary faced. That is not the question. It is asking about challenges of media today. One of the challenges is being given media trial, और सिर्फ judiciary का media trial थोड़ी हो रहा है, और media trial is coming because of certain other factors, है ना? That is, for example, TRP, that vicious triangle of TRP. Okay.
Okay,
Chalish,
sir.
I have a class here.